All right, hey everybody. So today we're going to look at how do you do things with division. So we've done multiplication of our exponents, and we've done taking a power to a power. So that's where you multiply those together, the exponents together. Today we're going to look at division. To do that, we're going to really look at how do these things work out, and we're going to kind of focus on what is remember what the expanded form is, and also what our simplified form is. So expanded form and simplified form. So the first one we have here is 3 to the 5th divided by 3 to the 3rd. And so in expanded form, you would do 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 all over 3 times 3 times 3. Now the cool part about this, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of break these apart into groups. And what I'm going to do is think about it in terms of like this, these two are one group, these two are one group, and these two are one group. So we still have 2 3's over there. So if you look about this as a fraction right here, so this fraction 3 over 3, when you do that fraction and reduce it, you would get 1. So essentially what's happening is you can cross these two out. And this group here, you can cross these two out. And this group here, you can cross these two out. So what you're left with is 3 times 3, which is 3 to the second. All right. So on this left-hand side exponential, think about what our numbers are. Our exponents are a 5 and a 3. So in order to do that, you could subtract those two to get that 3 to the second. That's how we're going to think about it, just subtraction. So in the bottom one, kind of to show you that same kind of principle, we've got 12 W's. This might take me a while. So give me a second, I'll write those out. All right, so there they are, magically a pair, which is kind of cool. So looking at crossing these out in terms of pairs, remember you have to cross out one on top, one on bottom. So this one and this one cross out here, here. Because all of those would divide out to be 1. So what you're left with is 3 W's, so W to the 3rd. Or again, looking back at our exponents, you'd have a 12 and a 9. So again, this could be subtracted. So in general, so this generalized term, if you have something like a to the m over a to the n, it's a to the m minus n. So the top one minus the bottom one. So take a second and pause it. Try these next two on your own. You don't have to write them out. T to the 47th would be ridiculous to write out. But pause it, take a second, try those on your own. We'll get back to it in just a second. All right, you should have those paused, have got those done by now. So 4 to the 3rd and 4 to the 2nd. So you've got a 3 and a 2. So subtracting those out, you get 4 to the 1st, which is just 4. And our right-hand one, t to the 47th and t to the 32nd. So we are subtracting these two, so you still have your t. And then 47 minus 32 should give you 15, so t to the 15th. All right, so you should feel pretty good about that. All right, so moving on, we're going to look at some variables. So this is where the challenge becomes. We're going to start putting steps together and start working with steps. So yesterday we talked about 3z to the 5th, so bringing that 5 in, and we got 9z squared. So when we bring that in, we have 3 to the 5th, z to the 5th, all over 9z squared. Now let's look at our z's first of all. So z to the 5th and z to the 2nd, we can subtract the 5 and the 2 to get a z to the 3rd. And our 3 to the 5th, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it apart a little bit. And if you think about 3 to the 5th, so you have 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, and the number 9. Number 9 is really 3 times 3. So 3 times 3. So I'm going to cancel these out. And what I'm left with is a 3 to the 3rd. So 3 to the 3rd. And whenever you've got ones that are pretty small and you want to, I would go ahead and figure out what that 3 to the 3rd is. In this case, it's 27. So I would leave this as 27 z to the 3rd. All right, so next one we've got 3r squared times 3tr to the 4th and t to the 3rd times 3r to the 2nd. So to start out by doing is looking at combining whatever you can combine. So when you multiply fractions, you multiply straight across. So you have 3 times 3, which is just going to be 3 squared. So we've got 3 squared, r squared times, hold on a second, random mistake there. What I'd first start out by doing is I would look at bringing this fourth in. Sorry, I forgot the fourth was up there. So 3r squared stays the same over t to the third. What we're going to do is we're going to multiply that, bring that fourth in, so you'd have 3 to the fourth, t to the fourth, r to the fourth. That makes a big difference. And then all over 3r squared. So now I start combining things. So we have a 3 and a 3 to the fourth, so those combined gives you a 3 to the fifth. My t to the fourth has to stay by itself because there's no buddy of that on the left-hand side. And my r squared, my r to the fourth would combine to be an r to the sixth. On my bottom, I would put those two together. So we have 3r squared t to the third r squared. All right. So now what we've got is we got to start taking some things away, start reducing them. My 3 here can take one of these away by subtraction to get a 3 to the fourth. My t to the fourth and t to the third, you can subtract those out to get just t to the first or just t. And r to the sixth over r to the second, can subtract those also to get an r to the fourth. One thing I always make sure I do is make sure you order them in alphabetical. So 3 to the fourth, r to the fourth, t, because r comes before t in the alphabet. All right, so that is all we've got for you today. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow in class. Have a good night. Good night.